All right, so we're back. Like I told you, I redecorated my studio and stuff like that, and trying to get everything situated. So the last time my fault with that. So that really was on me, wasn't it? On the shout out. Now what we're gonna do is tomorrow. I'm gonna try to bring back uh, Mr. Anthony Tubman Jr. to come back and speak some more. And he was telling us about Studio One and the advantages of Studio One, like how and how we can use that. And what we did start getting on was some of the cons of Pro Tools and why it is the industry standard. A lot of times we try to fight. A lot of people try to fight against the fact that it is the industry standard, and the fact that it's the industry standard. A lot of people still use Pro Tools. Is a rationale behind that. It's definitely a rationale behind why a lot of people still use Pro Tools. And I was given the pros. It's opening up any major production system or any major production studio. 9 times out of 10, they're gonna have Pro Tools. They're gonna have Pro Tools sessions. Another thing we talk about is education wise, majority of your institutes, Full Sail, SCAD, Berkeley, a lot of those institutes there still use Pro Tools as a course and as the main focal point of the education system, where they're teaching you how to mix or how to run equipment, how they run music production. Is Pro Tools. They're using Pro Tools in those houses. Another pro to it, like we talked about, was Anthony was talking about the algorithms, and I was talking about the codecs. When you're mixing it and when you're capturing it, Pro Tools hardware. The big advantage back in the day was latency. It was when you had an HD system, you could capture it kind of like hard disk recording. You can capture it with less latency. So that was a big deal, and Pro Tools still kind of leads the way in that also, even today in 2023. So those are a lot of times the big issues, and then two, dealing with large production and large sessions where you have more than 60 tracks. Pro Tools still number one in that. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Now, as far as Studio One, I didn't like the layout of Studio One. That's me personally, but I do want to let you know what I'm saying. And there's still some quirks and some things that I'm seeing even in the M1 native band Pro Tools. And another thing that so that is a con. Another con is producing the Pro Tools is, like I said, when it came to the sounds, when it came to the software instruments, when it came to different things like that, the loops and stuff like that, they sounded very outdated and very kind of old, very old. So you always, if you're going to produce in Pro Tools, you're going to need third party. Whether it's Native Instrument, Machina, whether it's MPC, whatever it is, you're going to need some type of third party implementation to get that sound that you want when it comes to having professional soft synths, professional sounds coming in there. Because let's be honest, Expander has long been outdated. Other things they've tried to come with, what is it, the new Cell, Groovebox, different things like that. And even when those new things, for me, they're still behind. Of course, the Native Instruments. They're still behind. The different sounds that you can get from different third party developers, and that's cool. So that's, I think, from a con standpoint, as a producer, when you're producing in Pro Tools, it's like, but when it comes to mixing, it's still number one. I think Studio One is catching. Logic is caught up a lot, and I think a lot of times Logic is caught up is because of it being intuitive. Like going from learning GarageBand, which is pretty much ABC, and then getting into Logic and having that basic understanding of GarageBand, it makes running Logic a lot more easy and intuitive. So I think the ecosystem that Apple had developed with going from GarageBand and then going to Logic is good. Now we know Logic is about to upgrade again because of the iPad implementation that's coming next 10 days, the 27th. So the iPad implementation. So we'll see what happens with Logic. I'm not throwing away Logic. Don't get twisted. I still have Logic over screen. You know what I'm saying? I still got Logic up here. But we'll see how that happens and the updates and everything, the implementation that's doing with Logic when that comes up shortly in a little while. Okay. So we'll deal with that also. Right now, y'all should see how I'm feeling. It's kind of crazy. So, but shout out to my man once again. Tomorrow we'll talk more about it tomorrow. I know it's late. I know it's like 1:00. Oh, it is 1:00 on the dot. Let's go. It's 1:00 on the dot. So we'll get into it a little bit more as we go forth. But like I said, I'm moving back to Pro Tools more out of the necessity of the business and what the industry is calling for than it is because I want to. let's be honest. It's more because of that than because of what I want. So we are moving back to Pro Tools. We'll see how everything happens. Going on in the future. And I just want to say, appreciate you guys for staying up with this 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna go ahead and work a little bit more before I go to bed. I got a real bit nap. Like I was so tired today because I was straightening up my studio last night. I stayed up about 2 o'clock last night, setting up my studio, resetting up my studio, cleaning and dusting and spring cleaning and stuff. And when I got home from work today from the school, I was like, well, let me take a nap. And normally I take like an hour, maybe 2 hours. Man, I put that seatbelt. Man, I was gone for like 5 hours, bro. Knocked out, straight sleep, snoring for 5 hours. I woke up about 8:30, 9 o'clock. So that might be why I'm still feeling fresh and refreshed. I'm gonna go in a little bit, try to catch these next 3, 4 hours before I have to get back up for school tomorrow. It's gonna be a long day. I might have to come in tomorrow night. We might have to do it Friday. I forgot I got revival tomorrow night to play for. But y'all be good. Listen, man. Whatever you decide to use, whatever DAW you use, whatever equipment you use, make sure you make the most out of it. Make the most out of it. I was complaining about my equipment. My cousin hit me the day after he missed the record. He said, "You don't need no more new equipment." I'm like, "Man, you don't know. Hush, man. Stop. We going shopping at we going shopping at the end of the month. You know what I'm saying? Just stop. You don't need that's what But whatever equipment you use, man, make the most out of it. Make sure that you get your money's worth out of whatever you spend. Because a lot of times, especially like somebody like me that's a techie, a lot of times I just buy stuff because I like technology. But at the end of the day, I try to utilize everything that I buy and make money from it. And that's the thing. Whatever DAW that you use that does what you need it to do, that's the one that you should use. Whichever one where it's most intuitive to you to get the job done quickly and efficiently, that's what's most important to you. I'm doing it because, like I said, I need to get